Hey guys, welcome to the think tank. Hey Mexi.
Buenas noches. Buenas.
Buenas noches. So how are you guys doing? Good to see you, James, Shauna, Mel. Yay, yay, yay.
Thank you, Mel, for reminding me. I had to I read her message and I was like, oh right, the like button. Don't forget to push that like button, guys.
Thank you, thank you. Sir James.
Shauna James.
So it's been another couple days of deep diving this case, but starting from the beginning. We're trying to go back to the beginning, and it's funny what person misses or is recalling because we know different things. How many 2 days we've done this, haven't we?
I started after Thursday.
Afternoon?
I started after Thursday. I was super busy at work, but I was kind of like looking and reading through things when I had this.
But our days off.
Oh, I've been on it. I said
I
that I was
know.
gonna sleep in. I was like, don't
That's
bother
it.
me. Not doing anything. Yeah, and I'm up at 9 o'clock. Me and Franky talked for 9 hours yesterday straight
All
about
about this
Delphi.
case.
I had a whole nother work day.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. And really, so much to go over. I didn't even do a stream yesterday, which is not like me.
Because we
But
talked
it
all
was,
day.
yeah. But we almost had to go over everything, right?
Mhm.
Like, this whole thing has got a person's head spinning. So nice to just kind of try and possibly make some sense out of stuff. Possibly. Hey, Chopper. Good to see you, friend.
Allegedly. Don't forget, this is how you get sued for defamation.
Everything's alleged in the think tank.
Allegedly. Just always throw it in there just in case.
Oh, there is so much going on in the world right now that I just don't pay. I dive into this stuff a lot more than I do the things that I can. I don't do the politics. I don't even want to know what they're up to. It's all
I don't want,
scary.
yeah, it's like the things that are going on in the now, like all the horrible things that are going on in the now.
Yeah.
I'd still rather dive into something.
Oh, like this?
Still putting my
Oh,
mind somewhere else, like rather than what's happening now.
absolutely.
Because it's all crashing
Yeah.
and burning, guys. I don't know if you've noticed.
That's all good. The alleged think tank. There you go. I think I love that. The alleged think tank. Oh, there's so much. Let's see. We have Richard Allen, Letitia, Daryl Brooks, Mark Jensen, Taylor Business, Adam Montgomery, Chad and Lori. Oh my good Lord.
Lori
Allegedly.
No, I mean, when it comes to those people, we can't say that about Lori's little gimp guy that followed her around, Chad. We can't say that about him because he hasn't been found guilty. But Lori, evil girl.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Hells yeah.
Did you see her her picture that they took in jail after she was found guilty, and her in like braided pigtails?
No.
Or it was before that. I can't even. That woman.
Oh my
I don't like
God.
her. I've never liked her.
Hey, Wolfie.
Hi, Wolfie.
Oh, let's see. Are they talking about that? Yes. I saw a news report. People witnessed Alan coming out of the woods, all and bloody. Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it though. February when this happened, there's no leaves on them there trees. So I think the guy probably would have held off jumping out at that time. Personal opinion.
It makes sense, man. Like you just committed, like you just took the lives of two people. And
Mhm.
if we're going with the theory, what the law enforcement is saying is that it all happened there after,
Yeah.
say, around 3, and it was quick. And the person left because that witness who saw that muddy and bloody person on the probable cause, that was like
Mhm.
3:45.
Hey,
Right?
Melissa.
So it's just not really smart. You would think like if you had just committed something like that, your heart's racing, your adrenaline's running,
Yeah,
you're
you're gonna be more
frightened
in
out.
hide. Yeah.
You're
But
just
we tossed it around for a while in some of our conversations. Like, absolutely did. We went over maps and looked at what it would look like back then. And, when you look at the pictures of what it actually looked like in February, it just it's just one of those things, right? No, he's not smart.
dude, straight. Like
No.
we talked for 9 hours yesterday. We could have literally just put that. If we would have recorded the conversation and everything we looked at, we could have just made it like a whole video because
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, I
we
mean,
kind of learned a lot.
we did. We did. We took microscopes to every little nuance of this case because literally, well, what we basically decided is we have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
We get a whole different look at things. And when Mexi and I were going through stuff today, even, and the new things that are coming out, so there is more stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not really verified right now. So I think what we're going to probably do is just even after this stream, we're going to jump into that a little bit further because it sends us all like down another rabbit hole, and it could be a big, deep one. So we'll probably just stick to.
There's a lot of names. Like I made a list of names like on my little notepad about that I've come across that I've never heard of. I was like,
that's the thing.
And these are people that are actually involved, like literally involved.
Exactly.
These aren't suspects. They're not suspects. They're not anything. They're just people involved in the case. And I've never heard these names.
It's names we would have assumed we would have known from the beginning. But here, this far down the line, it's looking really, really sus from a lot of different angles,
Yeah.
Actually, a total different rabbit hole than that, actually, James. It's a totally different rabbit hole than him. And, it just due to the people that could possibly be involved in this type of thing, we're just biting our tongues because you can't put names out.
I'm sorry. All I hear is Jazzy's lovely tune.
That's Lizzie.
Lizzie? She's singing
That's
a
Lizzie.
song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mommy, give me a cookie. I did see that, you guys. I did. What do you guys think of that? The swinging HEUERMANNs.
Yeah.
That sounds like a circus show.
Does anyone know, like, confirmation? Because I don't have it in front of me. It's not a case that I've been really looking at. When did Rex marry Asa? I feel like it was like somewhere. 2005, but like maybe it was.
I have not heard one yet, Mel. I have not heard a single thing. So I've been looking at that, and I've also, sorry about that, Mexi. I've also been looking at the one with the fellow who got the judge in his driveway. I've been looking at both of them.
Yeah, I've been following that one too. That one.
Oh my word. So yeah, it can really go down another rabbit hole completely. And we just chose that we'll go through this later because it's not worth putting out names that are not involved. And I mean, the rabbit holes we've gone down, it's just like, do you want to go down this one? Nope. And then we both go down it individually. What are you doing? Well, I've been reading this and I've been doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some that I was like, I'll just pin that up. We'll come back to that. Just
right.
I can't focus on that one right now. Do that later.
So even going through Kegan Kline,
Yeah.
from back then till now, you see certain little things that you go, oh, is that right? So we've got that. And then did you want to go see if it works? See if we can go through that timeline that you've got?
Yeah, it would require me reading, which
Oh, it doesn't just come out?
I guess
I can do
do.
it. No,
Oh,
I can do it. I got it easy. Easy peasy. Okay. Delphi timeline. It would require me reading, and I'm not in school. I ain't doing that. No, no, no. That's fair. I'm still not used to a lot of things on here. Like I look at myself, I'll be doing something and I look up and I see myself and it's like, oh my God. And I like, how do I fix this mess?
So this first one, if you want to scroll down a little bit, this first one's just, this is from when they first disappeared. When they first went missing. You can click read more if you want to read the article on that.
So this was I was trying to look at the date. So this was February 13th, 2017. So I'm put out on February 14th, 2017. I'll see how long this is first, and if it's super long.
It was posted February 13th at 11 or let's say 10:30 p.m. on the 13th, and it was updated on the 14th. But
on the 14th,
this just describes them.
This has been on target because owner Charlie said sell it.
Okay. I don't know if this is. I haven't popped through this one a whole bunch, so I will probably go into some and out of some, but that works.
I'm reading y'all's chat talking about Rex and his wife. That's a whole thing. That's why I asked, like, when were they married? Because I have a lot of questions about that.
Start to search back up for two missing girls. 13-year-old Abigail Williams and Liberty German were reported missing yesterday. The family dropped them off to go hiking near High Bridge. When the girls didn't show up for their arranged pickup time, family and friends started a search. They were last seen yesterday afternoon. Police, sheriffs, firefighters, and the Department of Natural Resources are all involved in the search for those teenagers right now.
Okay, so update to this story. The girls were found. For the latest updates. Let's see if this will keep us. Two bodies found during search for teen girls in Carroll County.
For 50 years, Payless Liquors has been on.
Good Lord, Martha. So, yeah, right from the start and kind of see what people have been thinking. Okay, 8. Can you still hear the Lizzie woman chewing?
No.
Oh,
no.
Right under my chair.
In the city of Delphi, a city of 3,000, just 17 miles from Purdue University, and all minds and hearts are with the families of those 13-year-old girls. I can tell you right now that we do not expect to know the identities of the two bodies found until late into the evening, maybe not even until tomorrow morning. This much I can tell you right now. I can tell you that two bodies were removed from the river just a few minutes ago.
It's just heartbreaking to think that this is just coming out. Like, this just happened when we're listening to this.
Can you expand
It's
that, by the way?
yeah,
Yeah,
I could.
But did you hear what he just said? Removed from the river. They weren't on the river, guys. Like, that's
Let me see
not
it. I'll go back.
where they were at.
The river just a few
Yeah,
minutes ago.
a little bit further back than that. Yep.
Tell you that 2 bodies were removed from the river just a few minutes ago in the same area where those 13-year-old girls were found. And of course, at this point, authorities are not identifying the 2 bodies as that belonging to, of course, the 2 girls you just talked about, Libby German and Abby Williams. They were
Okay, the only reason I'm doing this is I want us to identify where this is on our map. So this is Mexi where it's jutting up this way, and I think the other one is just after that that comes out.
Yeah. Do you remember we went all up in this?
Yeah,
We can. Are you gonna show that like that little part of the helicopter footage? I think it's like around
I
past
will.
13 minutes, I think.
Yeah, no, I absolutely will.
Because that's
to,
where
of
we
course,
kind of really started realizing where it all happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I will do that.
the 2
Gar
girls you just talked about, Libby German and Abby Williams. They were in the same area where in this park here this afternoon. They were found at 1 o'clock yesterday where they went missing. Now, as far as the investigation, I can tell you that state police and the FBI have been on the scene now for several hours. A number of units and teams have been here trying
Look at
to
them
gather
all.
information.
Wow. Let's see. I'll go back here. Okay. Is it this one here? No, it doesn't have a.
It's one of those 2. If you click on read more, it's one of the first 2 that has the helicopter footage.
For 50 years, Payless Liquors has
Good
been
Lord, Martha. Do you think it might be this one? Either this one or the other one, you thinking?
Sorry, I'm muted. If you go back, if you click back, I think it's one of the 2 above it. One or the other. It's talking about the searches.
This one's not. It doesn't have footage.
Well, no, but if you click on read more, I think the footage is in the actual article that we're looking at.
Okay.
Or actually, it could be on.
Here we go, friend. I think this is it.
Yes, that's it. And this is the 14th from early morning.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm going to just.
There's no audio on this. It's a helicopter riding around, but this will start from like the morning. This is the day that the girls were found on the 14th.
Just trying to. Go back here.
Well, you know, James, they say that the younger sketch was actually drawn first.
Yes.
And that comes from, is it Bethany? Or I'm not sure what the woman's name is, but she is on the probable cause. And she's the one that gave the description for that sketch. And that was actually drawn first, but they never released it until 2019.
trying to find because I think there's a way I can just watch that on Facebook, isn't there?
Yeah, if you hit the back button, or not the back button, but like kind of click from the big view of this. You see where it says Facebook right there? Right there. Ah. Go back. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, there you go.
Boom. Sorry, guys. I have to do that or I'll get myself in trouble. Much safer this way.
Did it actually take you there? Because I'm still watching the same footage.
It is the same footage, but it's off of Facebook.
Yeah, but it should actually take you to the Facebook link.
I'm in Facebook. I'm in the Facebook link.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but we didn't trade over. Like, I still see WRTV at the top. Like, you're still in the article.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I was there, but you weren't. Okay, let's see here. I just can't get it to get bigger.
Those arrows right there in the corner next to the volume.
Takes up the. Oh,
Yeah.
It did it. Never mind. It didn't do it last time. I don't know what the heck I was doing, but it was probably because I was in the wrong spot. Okay. There we go. Boom. Yeah, Facebook Live.
Doug with his brittles. There's a video that will come across this timeline. If you guys want to watch, we'll watch it. But man, that one was painful. It was painful.
So this gives us kind of an idea as to where everything's located from the air. And when we get into the water footage, you'll see where they are kind of walking around searching. Well, that's pretty much directly in front of where the kids were found.
Yeah, and you'll at some point, I should have actually timestamped that, but it's around maybe the 14-minute mark. You can actually see flashes.
Yes.
Of the investigators in the wood taking pictures, and you pretty have a really good idea where the spot is.
Absolutely.
And once they get into the trees, guys, you'll kind of be weirded out because you can kind of see through them.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. That's where watching this, it kind of showed me that someone could not come out of those woods and end up on that trail without knowing someone was there. And actually, chances of standing there, you have to stand some still or find a big bare tree to stand behind because they'll see you up there.
Yes. And a lot of things that have come up as well in my readings of things is that there was more people there.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of people that weren't mentioned that were there. And it was very surprising.
And there's this couple, just a couple, man and woman, they keep coming up. They were under the bridge.
Yep. That's who supposedly someone popped out and.
Well, I don't know if that's the same couple. I don't know if that's the same couple.
That's very true. Yeah.
But we do know, and it's fact because the family said it. That's actually a statement from one of the family members said when they arrived to search for them, they recognized people like kids that would have gone to school with Abby and Libby. And they had witnessed them under the bridge. So, like, we know that's true. And other people witnessed them there. So, where are these kids?
That's the thing. Like, there's so many. How you doing, Mom? Good to see you, friend.
Mom, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, girl.
Yeah. There is so much that could so much more that could possibly be out there depending on which rabbit hole you go down, and then try and figure them out from fact and fiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't make it easy. So there is the cemetery and there is Ron Logan's place, right side by side, guys.
And to the right is Ron Logan's, right there in the corner. The girls were found right around here, where the
Right down
searches
there.
are,
Yeah.
up on that grove, like up on top of that hill right there.
Yeah. And I don't think they were too far up and past.
They were 50 feet.
Now, is that including the inclines? That's what I was kind of
Yes,
wondering.
that's yeah. It's included.
Yeah.
So they'll just go from the base to it's 50 feet. So they did it from the top of the ridge 50 feet, and you know, it's still a very short
exactly.
distance. It's not much. They were right
And
there.
see how shallow it is? Like they're just up ankle deep at some points.
Do you see that sandbar? Do you see that darkness right there where those guys are standing, where it is super shallow? That's that sandbar that is. Can you press pause on that real quick?
Okay.
And let me share my screen.
Okay, I'm all over the place here. Give me 2 seconds.
Press a pause.
Pause. Stop. Pause. Okay.
You press a pause.
There you be.
I think that dark thing that I just said, like that's a sandbar, is this. And it just has a little bit of water over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there's where they were found. And I think it was down here. If you look down, no, right below where we've got them marked. That's where I think. That's where I think they are.
The clothes we still
go.
haven't quite figured out, because this
I think it's on the other side.
Yeah, this creek runs this way.
Yeah.
No, actually,
it does.
Didn't you read that Kegan Kline thing that said that the Deer Creek dumps into it, or does it come off of it? Maybe never mind. Forget that. But this moves left.
Yes.
So it moves this way.
I honestly don't believe there is any reason for them to be upstream.
So these
it doesn't. Yeah.
This is where this is where I put it. I don't know, and I quite haven't figured out where this is. But Franky's right. This stream moves left. So they should be further up from where they were, which is somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Because since the stream is moving left, but that doesn't.
Well, don't forget, Kelsey said she could. People just below her could see it. Were there at it, and she was like, "Wait, what kind is it?" So, and she was just coming off that bridge.
Which would be off the south side, which is this side right here.
Yeah. So if that, well, she wouldn't have had her shirt off and everything.
But what if the guy really exited out the south side? He just came out. He went that way, but then came back out this way and just dumped the clothes on his way out. That's a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like the cops are pretty sure, though, from the probable cause, according to them.
Yeah.
That he exited it somewhere here, because they say that someone witnessed him.
But I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I think that the cops are pretty sure that he was in that cemetery.
This makes more sense, guys. And this is something that I put on the map right here. And we've never actually talked about it, but this is a possible car location. It's been talked about. And the more I
Right
go
from the
back and I
beginning.
read, yeah, from the very beginning,
Yeah.
and the things that I've read is that this spot right here is, and it makes the most sense.
It
If you're
does.
parked at the cemetery, you get them here, out.
Yeah.
Bye.
And out. Yes, exactly. Exactly. No. It makes sense because they say that he just went out and he picked up the clothes and stuff that was around, took them out, threw them into the river, and then he took off. But that does not mean he took off. I think he went up the hill. I mean, it just makes total sense. Why would he was knowing what he was going to do. Why would he make his escape routes so far away and so public?
Right. Why would you jump out and be like, I'm going to get myself caught on
Right.
camera? But here's the thing. The probable cause never mentions a person walking by this
Mm-mm.
camera right here, guys. It's
Nope.
Hoosier Harvester. Harvester?
Yes. Harvester, yeah.
This is where they have a lot of their identification for the vehicles.
Yes.
This person crossed at this time, that car passed at this time, blah blah. But
And
they
they've got
don't ever
Alan's
mention
car.
a guy. Wouldn't you mention a
Mm.
guy on your probable cause crossing?
Yeah, because they've got Richard Allen going there, but they don't have him coming back that they can find. But mind you, I'm sure there's the odd back road that'll get him back into town.
Of course.
Like,
I mean,
yeah, instead of going that way, just go out one of those other roads there and hook on. You know what I mean? And it makes the most sense. If he was organized enough to not get an extreme amount of DNA left, whether it's hair, anything, then you'd think he'd be cautious enough to make his escape route fairly easy.
you would be stupid to, if this is just like a spur of the moment crime,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you just got it in your freaking spirit that you're gonna do it. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. I'm sure I'll find 4 or 2 random girls on a bridge.
Someone that's gonna be easy, right? And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
park the furthest away.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then be somewhere in here sitting on a bench waiting for someone to walk by. You got your thing. You did what you did and that you walked on the highway.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Some
And if you look,
people
where were all those cops parked?
right here.
Exactly.
And then they had, I think it was right here somewhere. There was more
Like a
of
stop check or something.
yeah, or some like, because there was a lot of guys. There was a lot of police there. So
I agree with you. That's the thing, James. Like it can't be random. You know, I've spent a lot of hours going over what Kegan Kline had to say, and it's like, oh my God. Park far away so you can claim that you were never near there. Oh, Wolfie. Yeah.
but see,
Yeah.
that defeats the point because they say, doesn't law enforcement say they have him coming there?
Yep.
But
They have him
not
going
leaving?
there, but they don't see him. There's nothing for a time as far as
Or
him leaving.
it's
No.
not necessarily him, but a car that matches that description.
No. Yeah. Not a darn thing. Not a darn thing.
Car that looks like the one that he owned at the time. It's
Yeah.
not
And
necessarily him.
I mean, I'd love to see that camera because was there a PT Cruiser that went by there? Was there a smart car that went by there? Was there these things that they're saying was parked all the way over there by the entrance or wherever? Oh no, they had it at the CPS, right?
So this,
CPS, Child Protective
yeah,
Service out there. Yeah.
Family Children's Office right here. I guess
Which
there
means
used
he
to be
would
a
have to go over a bridge too, right?
building here. I don't know. Well, he can. There's an entrance right here. You see that?
Right.
So he could park there and just walk.
But that's what I mean. He would have to walk all muddy and
Bloody.
full of DNA. Yeah. Yeah, he said he was watching fish. He was watching
There's
fish.
no
Let's put this
fish.
back on again for a second. See what
Yeah,
else we can
absolutely. I
see.
just wanted to
No, that's good. I love it. I love it.
just so everyone
Keep
has
it.
an idea of what people are saying.
Maybe we can keep that up still, and then when
Yeah,
we need
no,
to, we
I
can
have
pop
it
back
up.
to the map and take a look.
I have it up. We're good.
Add to stage. Market set. Go. I think it's awesome to have something there just to kind of bounce back and reference. Yeah, watching fish. It's like, what? Oh, my word. Buddy, you're hurting. It's as good as, yeah, I just like to drive around in the dark. Yeah.
Drive around with the blindfold on and the headlights off.
Those people have a helicopter pad in their yard.
No, that's maybe. I don't know. They just seem a little uppity.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a turnaround, a cul-de-sac. Maybe it's a cul-de-sac
Right?
because there's other houses that haven't been purchased.
Right? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. A lonely cul-de-sac. Very lonely. Something fishy.
Dude, nobody buys it. It doesn't matter how high that bridge is. No one buys the watching fish.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there watching fish. Were you? Really?
Yeah, that's very true. That's a true story. So we kind of get an idea about how wide this is. And it's not like some of those great big rivers that I see in the US. I mean, some of those are incredibly wide.
So, can you go back a little? Just like a couple. Oh, wait. He did it. He's not listening.
No, he's not the best pilot. He doesn't listen to us at all.
Can you press
Yeah,
fudge?
fudge.
Right there on that
Nibbler
bend,
gives you
guys.
time.
I have my cursor up on the bend. I'm like, right there on that bend. That's where they were found. But look at the trees. Like, I measured the tree line from the bank to the edge where the cemetery would be, and it's a little over a football field.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't find them? That goes back to that question that I have. Like, how were they not found on the first day?
Yeah, this is a question. This is a question. Okay, there's that cemetery. They keep glitching out. They do.
Yeah.
You're fired. So look at all the cop cars there, and I mean they're on foot through there. Where the heck is going on with this thing? Come on.
Yeah, it's the video.
I think it did this when you and I were watching it earlier too. Well, that could be too, you know. Yeah, why weren't they found sooner?
Yeah, Wolfie, but
Can you imagine?
they could have parked at the cemetery. There is that vehicle that people have reported at the cemetery.
Mhm.
That would be the easiest route. Just take the easiest way out. And that's why it's either that route or he goes south. Because south is also the easiest way to get out. Not walking through the tree line and getting all the way to the...
Yeah, and we have to think of how thin those trees are. Like, there is it's easy to get out of there. It's not like you're fighting thick bush and you're not quite sure. I mean, you can probably see where you're going. It's so...
And you have to think about the timeline too. Like, the picture of Abby is said to be 207. The
Yes.
recording, it's not so much video. It's a little bit of video, but a lot of recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Was done at like 2:30. Libby's grandfather or whoever was supposed to pick them up was already at the trail by 3:12, and he was actually walking the trails by 3:30.
Yeah, Libby's dad was going to pick them up.
And he was already walking, if that's who picked them up. Whoever that person was already on the trails at 3:30.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like blindly missing someone.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's some really good options that they could take, but truly the one that makes the most sense to me, because I don't think this just happened, is he had in his mind where he was going to park. He had in his mind where he was going to nab them.
So it's premeditated.
Very premeditated.
Yes. And that's a lot what the defense said in that memorandum, that it was planned. And that's a lot that we have actually been reading with profiles. We've gone all the way back, guys, to like 2017 from the very start. And that's what people were saying, that this was planned.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of it is two people. A lot of that stuff is back to the two people theory.
Two people being talked about. Who those two people were, I have no idea. And I'm not going to speculate on that.
See how thin the trees are?
Yeah. No
one's going to like hide and pop out in trees that are this thin.
James waterboarding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Straight to the gallows.
Waterboarding. Yeah.
Look how clear that is. What is that? Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
Just a couple seconds, and there's like something there that...
Let me get in there. Are you talking in the tree line? I think you know what you were talking about. Power lines is what I thought I seen, but
you went all the way back.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, did you see the
crime scene tape?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the private drive. That where those cars are parked right there, that's at the end of the south end of the bridge.
Yeah. How come I can't get this to enlarge again? Technical difficulties. Oh, well, that did it. Wait till you see what I did. Boom. Okay. So let's go back here for a second. Okay, here I go. Oh, this is wonderful, guys. Down, down, down.
Thing break down on you? What happened there?
I broke down on me.
And it broke it down.
Okay, Facebook. How come you're not clicking in there for me?
We have to press play first and then click the Facebook thing.
Oh, there we are. Let's go back to where we were. Right around here. Okay, a bridge.
That's what's, yeah, random victims or something. And what are the odds that they plan to meet a really good looking kid on the bridge? Like, the girls were gonna be dropped off for like a couple of hours, and there was a set time they were gonna be picked up. That's true. And they were supposed to maybe possibly meet up with a person online. Then they would have met up at that specific time. So what are the odds that someone got to them before this catfishing happened? Before the catfisher could meet up with Libby?
Well, that's the thing.
I just don't I don't believe in coincidence in crime. There's no coincidence in crime.
No.
Maybe in
I'm
your
sorry, I keep
normal
messing
life.
with this.
Oh, you're good. Maybe in your normal life there's coincidences. I like to call that happenstance. That just happened. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Weird, but it happened. Nothing comes from it. But like,
So right now, this is right by the alleged scene. Like, this is pretty much, actually, you can see tape up there. You can see tape up there. Unless those branches are just in the perfect spots. We'll see.
hello?
Hi.
I went to refresh. Like, you're talking about crime tape. Where I don't think we're watching the same thing you're watching.
Well, okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. No. Wrong. Because it's just small, right?
It is small, yeah. You're still on the web page to me.
So if I make it bigger, oh, there we go. I think I got it. Okay, now we have to move up. Okay. Damn.
Ninja Chihuahuas to crime. I love you.
Oh, nice.
I love you. I love
Right?
Ninja Chihuahuas. Aren't they little freaking ninjas though?
Love them.
There has to be.
Love.
I agree with you. Like, Kegan Kline puts
Jazzy.
himself in the area and then wants to say that his dad was there too, but yet somehow his dad has a different alibi that checks out. I don't know. It's weird.
It has something to do. I think he's saying he was at work, or I can't remember. It's just that Lizzie, the singing doggo. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I owned.
Oh, they are.
Everything I owned when growing up was Chihuahuas or
Nice.
some mixed breed of Chihuahua, and they were little freaking. They have the little pit pads that they have. They're like, you can't even hear it. They're like, it's freaking adorable.
Okay, let's see here.
Do you guys see any fish? First person to spot a fish gets a keychain.
Right? Sleepy time. Good night, James.
Hi, JJ.
Love
Hi,
it. Sleepy time. Oh, they do have huge personalities. I've had a couple of them and I loved them.
Yes, they're the best. That's where I grew like my love for dogs. Like Chihuahuas were the first ones I've ever had because that's what my parents would allow me to have.
Okay, this is where you said to stop. What do you see?
Well, because there's the bridge right there, and pan down, dude, pan down.
Okay, so again,
So,
it's more
right
than
where
likely-
these searchers are, this is where the girls were found, right over that hill.
Yes.
50 feet, they said. I don't know if that's from like the actual riverbed or from like over the hill 50 feet, but they're pretty close to the bed regardless.
Mel. Fair enough. So yeah, even Kegan Kline, looking at him again today. I mean, I got questions. Is that
There it
not
is.
the tape?
Yes, that's
Yes.
crime
Just
scene
off
tape.
to the left side.
And that is the private drive around the bank.
Yes. Yes.
Look how barren that is. You
Mhm.
can see. It would be easy to hear things as well.
They're he's looking just at every little thing from up there, best he can. Kegan Kline.
There's a report that one of the journalists who was on scene spotted was a person who spotted the clothing in the river 75 yards, at least 75 yards from where he was standing. And we tried to map that out to where he would be. I think he was over by the private drive, but he could be maybe on the other side of the or on the bridge closer to the north side looking down the river or down that Deer Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
How were they not found? Do you guys are getting a good look at the area and how it looked at the time?
And it really does, doesn't it? It really makes you wonder how the heck they were not found. It's just, are you kidding
If
me
they were
already?
there the whole entire time. How were they
Exactly. It does make you question, doesn't it?
And there's reports, there's some people that say that they had already searched that area twice.
Yeah. That was the second time when they found them. Yeah. The way I understood it anyways.
Yeah. That's that, or it was twice, and then yeah. But regardless,
Yeah.
it says that they had already.
They'd been there. And if they had actually been there, they were not hiding. So there's the path. Look at that. It gives you an idea how steep that was. Oh, very good then. Right there. Oh, you see, it was doing this when you and I were.
I feel like they black it on purpose. But right where that line of searches is, if you go up, you'll see an investigator. It was probably prior to that. You'll see an investigator in that woods. That's where they were found.
And you can see the crime tape kind of flash there somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just straight above. A lot of times you'll see little flashes that they're taking pictures, and it's really quite sad. But look at how thin the trees were.
You're telling me as a person, you wouldn't see. There's reports of people being under the bridge, on the bridge, taking pictures. Like, you guys didn't see people or movement in the trees. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like hyper aware, but I would notice something like that. And these girls talking, voices, screaming. I would scream.
Yeah.
Regardless of how quick anything was, like I feel like I would scream.
So that guy, I just seen more flashes because that helicopter is directly over where the girls are.
Yeah.
And once in a while you can see these flashes. Yeah.
Of them taking pictures of the crime scene. But that black helicopter is it's police. And they're constantly hovering over that area.
They found I had Lizzie and Jazzy on my brain. They found Libby's phone, but I don't believe that Abby had one.
I don't know about that. And the only reason I say that is because in that timeline that we pulled up, this is where we're watching this from. Every time they mention trying to ping a phone, it's plural. They said we tried to ping the girls' phones.
Right.
We couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
We didn't find them. We couldn't. So did she have a phone? Did
I don't think so.
Abby have a phone or not?
Yes, you could, Shauna. Yeah. So they're looking for things directly by and down from where the girls were found.
So from right here, I think he might pan up. We could see an investigator in there.
So if there's anybody new out there, don't forget to subscribe and please hit that thumb for me. Help get me further into that algorithm. See, right there, yeah. Now, I think the reason they search like that is to make sure literally they get inch by inch covered. Not so much worried about like an undercurrent by their knees, but... That's what I thought. Anna had said that she wouldn't let Abby have a phone. Okay.
Was she allowed to have social media? Because, like, that was something that was also in the sentence. We ping the girls' phones. We search their social medias. There's an investigator in here somewhere.
So I'm just going to, I want to find.
Yeah, we don't have to watch all of this. We just wanted a good understanding, like you guys to have an understanding of what it looked like at the time.
Right.
This. So.
Okay, so.
I'm going to check out for 1 second, okay?
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Holy smokes. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this was from oh my word, little girl.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Sergeant Kim Riley. I'm with the Indiana State Police. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Lafayette Post.
Steve Mullen, Delphi Police Department, Chief of Police.
Toby Lazenby, Carroll County Sheriff.
Basically, we're going to make this, it's going to be short and sweet. We don't have that much at this point in time. Basically, what we've got, we have found 2 bodies. Is that the Sugar Creek?
Deer Creek.
Deer Creek, sorry. In Deer Creek, about a mile east of town.
So they're back to saying here in the creek. I don't know why that is, because as far as I know, that's not the case.
We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play. We have not made positive identification of the 2 bodies, so we're not going to be releasing any information on them at this point in time. We've got the Indiana State Police is assisting the Carroll County Sheriff's Department and the Delphi City Police Department in the investigation here. We also have the FBI Crime Scene Investigation Group here out of Indianapolis. And one thing the family asked us to do is to thank all the communities around Delphi and the people here in Delphi for assisting in attempting to locate these the 2 young children that were missing earlier.
I'll work on it for you, Mel.
Those people, and thank you. They were just wanted to express their gratitude toward the hard work that was done in helping search for these children.
Has the search been called off for these 2 people?
Not officially, because we have not positively identified the bodies at this point in time.
Okay, we'll get another one up.
We still have, there's still people out looking, but it has been scaled back. Let me just put it that way.
Are the bodies of the 2 individuals discovered, are those of young female children?
I'm not at liberty to give that information out as of this time.
Who found them?
I'm not going to say at this point in time.
Why do you believe that there was foul play?
Just the way the bodies were found. That's about all I can say at this point in time.
Were they in the water?
They were on the edge of the water, from what I understand. That's about the best I can tell you.
Any outside injuries?
I'm not going to make a comment on that at this time.
What time were they found?
That I'm not sure. 12:15.
Is this Slocum?
Love and support for
Who's that
the
speaking?
families involved. I think that's
Let me
been
just get back
fantastic.
to that,
Speaks
friend.
highly of our community.
You've talked to the families, there's been no identification, but we could hear that this was a sad meeting.
There is some sadness, yes.
How long do you think it's going to take, of what you know so far? How long do you think it's going to take to positively identify these
I
children?
can't speak for the coroner. He's the one that will take care of that part. That's not something I can give you that information at this point in time.
How far down was it from the bridge? Downstream.
Probably more than a mile, well, less than a mile, rather.
I'm going to say somewhere between half and 3/4 of a mile, I'm guessing. The road curves back in there, so it's really hard to tell as the crow flies how far it is, but I'm going to guess about a half to 3/4 of a mile back there.
It wasn't that far from where the search started. You mentioned hours of searching, hundreds of people. So were they not in plain sight in that area, that it would have taken a long time for you guys to find them? Were they
We really don't want to comment on that at this point in time.
Is there any?
We don't really want to put out too much information at this point in time. Something I will do, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to probably put tweets out
Jazzy.
approximately every hour on updates. It may be as much as that. I'm just going to say we have nothing new at this time, but I will try to do that for at least the next 4 to 6 hours.
How do you suspect? Do you
You bet,
presume
friend. Welcome,
that
welcome.
these are the two people you were looking for?
I really can't comment on that at this point in time.
Were there any visible injuries or other signs of trauma to the bodies that were discovered?
We're not going to make any comment on that either. I know we're not giving you much. I understand that, but I mean, we're at the baby stages of this case. At this point in time, I cannot release really much more information.
No problem,
As soon as I
friend.
can, I will be more than happy to put stuff out.
Who's the lead investigator?
Carroll County is actually the
Sheriff's
lead.
Office.
Is it fair to say the search has been
Oh.
drastically scaled back?
Correct. I will say that, yes.
Sheriff, are you classifying this as a homicide investigation at this stage?
It's a death investigation of unknown sources.
What?
Did you hear that though? Can you press pause really quick?
Chief,
Yeah.
you've not said anything, but this is your panel.
I think I can.
talk
Why?
about,
What the heck is going on here?
It's had a terrible impact on.
I'm refreshing it. Sorry, everyone.
But he kind of made that a really snarky remark when you asked him like who's in charge of it, and
Yeah.
that guy looked like he was about to answer, but then all of a sudden the sheriff was like the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
It was kind of odd.
Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree. And if you notice, Toby Lesenby has got his head down.
Yeah.
Is it just because he's mourning because that was a horrible, horrible sight? Or what is it? Because that was a real
Or he's not
roundabout
not agreeing with what's being said. We don't actually know what his
stance.
that face that you're paused on right now looks like he's trying not to say something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember the judge was like, nope, I'm out, not going to even mess with this stuff. Oh yeah,
We looked
he
it up
was
we looked that up yesterday. What was that? He said bloodlust.
yes. He was frightened. He was literally frightened.
He didn't have to give a reason, but he gave some sort of thing on
Sheriff, are you classifying
paperwork.
this as a
Bloodlust is what he stated.
Oh, here's that part.
It's a
Yeah.
death investigation of unknown sources.
A death a death investigation of unknown sources.
Interesting.
Chief, you've not said anything, but this is your town. Talk about the impact this is having.
It's had a terrible impact on our community. The people who participated in the search, people who have participated in all the efforts to try to find the victims in this case are very much appreciated. But I know it's had a terrible effect on our people, and we are grieved this sort of thing would happen here in our community. I am pleased to see the community come out and help us the way that they have. I'm very pleased to be part of a community that has done everything they have done to help us out in this case.
Going forward, you're going to do everything. Obviously, you can't find out who was involved in this. I know earlier when we talked, pretty much all the law enforcement's been holding back tears because these young girls and families and the whole search is really taking a toll on you. So are you going to do everything, exhaust every option, just like you did in the search, to find out who was involved in this?
Yes.
Oh,
Anything to say to the community?
Huge thank you.
Yes, thank you for all their help.
Should people in the community be afraid right now based upon what you've seen and know?
I think people are smart enough in our community to draw their own
Jazzy.
conclusions about what they should feel and shouldn't feel. Our people are very smart. We have a very good community, and they are very strong. And they are able to draw their own conclusions about this whole situation, I think, quite successfully. Thank you for the question.
Because, and the reason I ask is I hear the word foul play suspected. And people might be wondering if there's somebody running around this community preying on people that they need to be preyed on.
I understand what you're saying.
but I'm not giving you an answer.
I do. I think people are able to draw their own conclusions about this situation, and they are smart enough to figure out that.
I think the community is smart enough to figure it out.
I don't know. He had just said some previously to that, and I found it like a really smart remark, and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, he's
like,
not really
for the question, and you're just like, you don't even answer it, but okay.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like what? What? Oh my
Polite way of
word.
asking, don't ask me any more questions.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. So, we did a lot of looking today or last little while, like Kegan, Kline. I did a lot of looking, and I cannot eliminate those guys one little bit. Going back, I think we really have to start looking at all these different guys, all the new names that we're coming up with.
Yeah. I'd like to start looking at it with fresh eyes. Like, I'm forgetting about everything that I already know.
Exactly.
Like, at least trying to. I'm not going to forget about it. I still want to remember that. But I want to look into these names that I've never heard of.
Exactly. Exactly. He did, didn't he, Mel? Looked very uncomfortable. All of them.
They did. Do you watch the behavioral panel now?
Sorry about that. What's that?
I was asking now if they watched the behavioral panel. It's like one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh, for sure. Hey. Very interesting. So let's listen to this again, the very brief amount that they gave us to listen to. Oh, there we go. So that was the first little bit that they gave us before they, kind of went out of their minds and gave us the guys part. So the Delphi girls, Abby and Libby Tip at CACOSHRF.com, 844-459-5786.
If you guys haven't watched, did you watch Michelle's video this morning? Michelle Walks.
I didn't.
She's got like 2 channels. I'm not sure which one she put that on. And I had never heard Tony Kline's voice.
Nope.
Someone has Tony Kline's voice. She has it. She put it on her
Do
video.
you know what?
And she compared
remember it, though.
to that audio, guys, down the hill. Somebody compared it to Tony Kline's voice. Like, she has a recording of it. If you guys want to go watch her, you have to look up Michelle Walks. Do you have her links?
I don't know. That she might be in my description. I cannot say for fact.
Do you mind if I share the video that she posted this morning? Because you guys will find those audios. She did Kegan.
Oh,
she
no.
did
Like,
Richard.
put it in the chat. Yeah.
So she did Kegan, Richard, and Tony. She has the clippings on there. So I'll go ahead and share it with you guys so you can take a look if you're interested.
Yeah, I usually like her channels. Oh, yeah, right, Ninja. I understand that 1000%. Did you watch it today, Mal?
So Mel knows
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. And I never heard Tony's voice, and to be honest, it kind of sounds like him. But hey, that's just my opinion. Don't sue me. Don't
We
come after
will,
me.
yeah, right.
I
Let's
promise
hear
you I
what.
won't do it.
What's going on there? Okay, let's see here. Untold Story. That's a longer one. This is where they add the word guys, which was just really awesome. Okay, so I think we're done with that one now. So let's see here. I want to bring back. There's so much. I don't know where to start. And some places I'm afraid to start.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, Jamie Bowyer. Okay, everyone, I need help. Libby and a friend are missing. They went to walk the trails around the High Bridge today, and we have had no contact for the last 4 hours. She is not answering her phone. If anyone knows anything, please call the Carroll County Police. So again, it's showing that that the photos were uploaded to Snapchat at 2:07. And that Libby began recording that video at 2:33. Not long after this.
And I've heard a lot of reports that video, it's actually, it's video, but in audio form. I'm assuming that Libby possibly put her phone in her pocket while using the actual camera app from the phone.
Right.
So it's all audio. And a lot of people have said that it's a lot longer than we think it is.
Exactly.
And a lot more things can be heard. We just don't know it. And that's also very particular because it's like, how do they know that? Whoever said that, whoever's coming up with like, the video is that audio is a lot longer than we know. That was something that was leaked probably from the beginning. It's obviously it was leaked from the very beginning because we're going to the beginning and that's what people are saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Longer than we know.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it was 3:07 that Libby's dad, Derek, called to say he was on his way to pick her up. And already he had no answer. 3:11, he called again when he was near the trailhead. Nothing. 3:13, he had arrived and called quite a few more times. No answer. 3:30 p.m., Derek began walking towards the bridge when he encountered a witness believed to be Dan McCain. This witness told Derek that he did not see the girls, but he did see a couple, a man and a woman, under the bridge. Derek then turned back around and returned to the parking lot and proceeded to contact other family members in regards to the girls' whereabouts. So, going back, like Mexi was just saying, who was this man and woman? I have heard nothing. Man and woman out there. Dan McCain.
I've heard as much as 40 minutes, Shauna.
Yeah.
That's the most I've heard. I've heard like different variations of the length, but it's definitely more than we knew that it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always more than we knew that it was. Should I say?
Yeah, absolutely, Ninja. The Murder Sheet has lots, as does Down the Hill. Those are 2 great podcasts. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the thumb too, you guys. Get the think tank out there for more soon-to-be thinkers.
You know what
Love
I
it.
just thought about?
Mm.
You reading that, how Derek called at 3:11, arrived at 3:13, called her again, was on the trails by 3:30.
Jazz.
When they were trying to ping their phones, they said that they couldn't ping them, that they were either dead or turned off, right? They couldn't ping them anywhere, according to the police and the initial statements that were made. That was part of the timeline. That's an article.
Yeah, exactly.
They said that it was turned off or it was dead.
One or the other, yeah.
But it sounds like in this statement that this person is saying at 3:07, Derek called Libby. It sounds like it actually rang and he had no answer. It sounded like it was going straight to voicemail, right? He had no answer. So that actually pulls more of the timeline apart, doesn't it? Because if they can't answer the phone, it's because something's going on. And if we're supposed to believe that by 3:15, this guy is supposed to be making his way out of this wooded area to be, that's cutting it short with everything that we know now of how the girls were found, what they were wearing, what happened. That's cutting it really short, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the time that I've heard as well, 40 some seconds. But you look back and it's questionable. So the 43 seconds, that's what I've known through the whole time was the 43 seconds. But I'm not going to eliminate other times out of my mind at this particular point. I'm just going to kind of go back and try and look at things fresh and then kind of put in what we know and see if it does go back to this 43 seconds because
I want to actually say something about that because we do know. We've actually looked at it. The 43 seconds comes from, that's what Mike, his wife, and Abby's mother was allowed to listen to, was 43 seconds of audio.
Yeah.
And there is actually, Becky references that. She says, go and look at this interview with, was it McDonald? We wrote it down.
Yeah, we did. Mac. Big Mac.
To look at Holman with Alexis McAdams, the interview with that, because it sounds to me like the 43 seconds was something that they were allowed to listen to, but there's more. There's more than 43 seconds.
Well, that's what it's starting to look like for sure. For sure.
And it was Becky who said, for proof or whatever, to go look at Holman being
Probable
interviewed.
cause doc says 43 seconds. I thought so. Yeah.
43 seconds of what though? What's the rest of the sentence and the probable cause? Because I think it says something like, I have it somewhere.
I got it right in front of me here. So this is Richard Allen's probable cause, right?
Yeah. Found it. I'm assuming it'll say like 43 seconds. So Control F. 43. Is that how I would look it up? Control F. He's got a gun.
Yeah, it's not giving me a time at he's got a
gun. I can't even look that up using Control F. Look up gun. Doesn't pull up. Pistol. Weapon.
got us on a we're searching, guys. We're searching.
I'm using Control F to go through the probable cause and find like words, and I can't find any. He's got a gun. And there's also reports that it's like the creepy guy still behind us.
Yeah. Yeah. Searching.
Go back to the beginning. Can you tell me the page of that Chihuahua? That would probably be a lot easier.
Oh, good Lord, Jazzy.
Ordered the girls down the hill. No witnesses saw them at this time. No outgoing communications were found on victim's 2 phone after this time.
Page 38 or 39 minutes in the very beginning when they come out saying it was seconds. I remember 38 or 39 minutes in the beginning when they came out saying it was seconds. Oh, I gotcha. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Try recording. Nope. Recording doesn't pull up for me either. Audio. Nope.
Nope, that's okay, Ninja. Not a problem.
It's okay. Like, I'll find it. Like, I actually already put it down as a note. I was like, I'm going to look at that.
Yeah, and I've got it here. I'm looking at the paperwork, and I'm not like.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm not sure that it's on any paperwork. Somewhere, somehow, we were all under the impression that it was
it's
this long, like 43 seconds or whatever it was.
That's what they've been saying for like 8 years, 7 years.
And maybe what they were talking about is what we were allowed to listen to. Or what they released. Like, I know I've seen it somewhere where it was just like it's 43 seconds and that's it.
I thought it was in the PC. Okay, if I don't find it this round, I'll look for it.
I remember all those things. Aries. And that. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Because
Oh, there's so much.
one
Like,
of the
it's
things that got me that I hadn't really paid attention to was Holman. When the defense depositioned him, Holman,
I agree with you. Mhm.
he confirmed that at some point Abby had no clothes on, right?
Oh, there's lots of different things being said, yeah.
But he confirmed that. I mean, it's a deposition. Like, if you're lying about that, like, that's
So
trouble. But
on Tuesday, February 14th, a local photographer saw girls' clothing in Deer Creek approximately 75 yards from the bridge. Weren't we talking about that earlier as well?
yeah, we tried to
We
map
didn't know
that
where
out.
trying to figure out where he was standing. So it's from the bridge. And Libby's shoe was allegedly found on a section of private driveway that leads to a home. So we're going to have to wait and see how that works too, because they're placing that shoe in two different places. They're putting it in the creek, and they're also putting it in someone's driveway.
We
So
don't know if that creek picture is legit, though.
he said he saw something. He could not figure out what it was. There were two deer standing up there. As he looked to see what it was, that is when he saw them, said Libby's grandma, Becky Patty. It was a volunteer searcher who discovered them, bodies of the Delphi teens lying in grass between a group of trees deep in the woods. He called his wife, who said, who was with us, and said, we found them. My sister came up and was crying, and she said, I'm so sorry, said Patty.
Do we even want to watch that interview? Do you guys want to watch the interview with Doug Carter?
It depends how long it is. Let's see here.
It's like 6 minutes, isn't it?
7:12 here on a Thursday morning.
This is when they release the sketches.
Yeah, here's the sketches here. And I think I'll punch him through the screen. Despite a reward of over $220,000, there have been no arrests until Richard Allen, of course. Tony Slocum's radio event interview on WBA-TV. One we go, my God. So let's see here. 220.
Do you remember Tony Slocum? I've never heard that guy's name. That's why I was asking if that other interview we're looking at, if that was one of the guys. He works for the state cops. And something that I found interesting about Tony Slocum was that his daughter was attending Purdue University. And Purdue University is the same place that Otinus professor is supposed to be coming from, who they did an interview with, or got his input on their original Otinus theory.
So, yeah, directly across. And then the investigator is right over here. So this just, it shows you. They were so close to that river. Various unconfirmed witnesses. So this is interesting right here. The guy that found the girls was by himself when he actually found them. PB found them after he saw some deer, and he looked up and there she was. He called his wife, and she was with Becky, and told them that they had found her. Now, Becky Patty comes in and says, no, he was not alone. And then Becky comes on again and says it was not Pat Brown. that made the call that day. His wife was not with me. And you see, even in a small little tiny town like that, look at how like ass sideways this is. I just stumbled upon a post from 10 weeks ago. Jasmine, I'm sure you're familiar with my BC. You spoke up. My question is, and asking BC because I don't think it's ever been confirmed and maybe rumored, did the girls or were they ever speaking or a mention of a creepy guy? I would like to put that to rest because I never ever seen nor heard it can be confirmed. Thank you very much. So Ellie said that one of the girls said it's that creepy guy still following us. Check the interview of Holman with Alexis McAdams. Do you know anything about Alexis McAdams?
That's the interview I'm talking about. Like that's what
that is.
That's what I was just saying earlier that we need to
Right.
check out because he's actually confirms that it's something Becky is saying. Like that's what we were allowed to listen to. There's
Right.
more. Check this interview. So I'm assuming he says something that confirms that.
No, he isn't the one I was talking about. He was in the search party that was on the same side of the creek as the girls. No, he did not mention stumble over them. Thanks for clarifying. It's difficult to follow these messages. Sometimes they jump all over. And this, I mean, they're talking about these sketches, and oh my word, April sketch was a man seen.
Go up. Read Tara German's comment there.
Douglas Rice, I can say when I got there, there was a few kids that I knew that went to school with Libby, and they were under the bridge as well. So I'm not going to say that it's uncommon.
So that goes back to people saying all these people that keep coming up. Oh, there's somebody under the bridge. Like there are some kids under the bridge. Like there were other people there.
Yeah,
that we don't
absolutely.
know about and aren't on the probable cause.
Yeah. Yeah. The April sketch was a man seen down at the south end that afternoon. It came from a lady that lives on 625. I was told about it quite a ways back that another member in this group, I thought it was irrelevant then. And I was beyond surprised when Ellie released it. I believe it has no bearing whatsoever on this
Now,
case.
that April sketch is the younger sketch.
Yes. Yes. So the bridge guy ditched some clothing. That's a valid question. The early witnesses described him to Ellie before she saw Libby's pic, actually like the pics except the scarf. So this is interesting too. Me and my friend stayed out from 8 p.m. with a search party till the girls were found the next day. Around 2 a.m., we ended up calling the sheriff's office because we heard screams coming from the other side of the bridge. They said all of the officers are busy at the moment and to call back if we hear anything else. Oh my God. We did not hear anything else until around 6 a.m. when a couple more people showed up. Around 9 is when we started seeing news crews again. And then we seen law enforcement. Some 1,100 people have been looked at in connection with the Delphi case of teens Libby German and Abby Williams. But officials tell HLN's Suzanne Hendricks The list now comes down to about 24 names of people who could be the suspect they call Bridge Guy. So yeah, here's that first drawing, or sorry, the first sighting, second drawing released. Look at how high that is. Can you imagine going there to watch fish?
Absolutely not.
And no offense to their rivers and like streams and stuff out there, but how do you see anything in green water?
I wouldn't. You know what I would go out there to do? I would stand in the middle of that bridge if I even walked out on that. By the way, I would just stand there and probably stare out into distance, like Oblivion. Have you ever done that where you just like space out?
Sweet dreams, Mel. Yes, I've been known to space out.
Like, so just stand there and just. Wait, what were you doing? I don't know. Watching.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
I don't think. I'm thinking if you're standing on that bridge, not a good time to space out. I mean, the way that bridge was, yeah.
Like I said.
Well, hello, Perry. Good to see you.
I wouldn't. If I even would get on it, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be on that bridge. Like
no, like Perry said, disassociate.
Yeah, you just like when you're in the car. You ever been in the car? You're driving somewhere and you just like space out, and then all of a sudden you're like, "How the hell did I get here?"
Yeah. Hey. Oh, I mean, this case. So David Erskine, no, I'm fine. Me and my other sister's boyfriend are the ones who found the girls Tuesday. Not much worse you can show me. David, you told me you found the girls. I just want to confirm the second person with you was Ivan and the third was a lady. No, my sister's husband. And then we called 2 county deputies, Drew Yoder and Darren Genicola. Not even close. Okay, so this is a sick rumor, and I am so sorry to show you this. Oh, thanks for letting me know. No, that's not her nor Libby. Abby was placed there on the ground like a doll, hood up, hands folded, wearing the same clothes as the pic from the bridge. Coroner report stated everything was over by 3:30. No R word. But I was told the report was not released. Becky Patty told me the families have not been told whether they were R-worded or not. She lied to you. Also, Abby survived until the next day. She tried to crawl away. They were not bound. They were touching but not tied together. Abby was dressed. Libby was nude. Libby's top half was covered with leaves and sticks, almost like they were trying to cover her. But you said there was no R word. There was no R word. If there was no R word, there is no DNA. Correct. I don't know why she was nude, but I read the coroner's report and the DNA would be from Libby's fingernails. She fought like hell. Yes, maybe it's the DNA they're referring to. Please let me know if there's anything else. If I can come across anything, I will contact you. Whoever did it targeted Libby for sure and knew what they were doing with Abby. It was personal with Libby. Yes, I heard Libby had most of the injuries, but it could be that she was trying to defend Abby. She was bigger. So Libby's head. So yeah.
I want to
just some of the wounds.
Stop you right there, because from now that I've like done the kind of looked at it a little bit, I know that not everyone's with the defense, and that doesn't matter. I don't. Doesn't matter. We're not talking about that, but we have to actually just think about this. What they say in the memorandum comes from evidence, so they can't actually like lie about something that they're describing in a photo Like, you can't say, oh, yeah, like in this photo, she had her hood up. They don't describe that. Whoever wrote those text messages is full of fucking lies. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. I just cussed. It's poppycock. Like, that, from what, because the defense, I know that they've been dismissed or they withdrew or whatever, but they still got the descriptions that they were saying from a photo or from evidence, and that does not at all match up with what that person is saying via text.
Yeah.
And I wrote that guy's name. I wrote that name down because I don't know who that is. Who is he? David Erskine. And I will say it because it was on that text message. Who is that?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
There is a lot of freaking names.
Yeah.
That I
and
never...
it just keeps getting more and more and more and more. So at some point, I mean, they look at a bunch of guys and then they start to zero in on Kegan Kline. And we know that he was sentenced to 30 years in the Huskow for CP. But going through what they had on him is very disturbing. And it's hard not to see him as a guilty party. But going down that rabbit hole takes you to a whole bunch of really, really interesting things.
Thank you, Aries. Erskine is Abby's uncle. So do you think that he was just giving like a second-hand account of what he was told in those text messages? Because that would make sense. Like, I thought that this David Erskine person was like at the scene. And then now he's just like saying, oh yeah, this is it. That's that. That's how they were found.
Yeah. And if you don't know who the person is, you don't know how to weigh it.
So if Erskine is one of the relatives, is his text messages like a secondhand account of what he was told and he's just telling someone else, right?
I think you're right. I think we're going to see a lot more of Kegan Kline. I'm just going to put this up real quick here, guys. Yeah.
Aries, with your last, your Erskine texts are legit. He verified a couple years ago. People wouldn't leave him alone. The reasons I have questions, I'm not trying to say that he's wrong or not. It's just, again, like I say, I know the defense is withdrawn. In that memorandum, I know they had their own theory, but I'm trying to pay attention to the details of what they were describing. Abby was fully clothed and then dressed in Libby's clothing.
Some of it.
Yeah, the sweatshirt and the jeans, right? The defense can't lie about that, like, because that's something the judge already knows. Like, they already have all the evidence. You can't, that would be a lie. Like, to say that that's what it was and that's not actually what's in the evidence. They're describing things that they're seeing and they just came up with their own theory. But those little details about Abby having some of Libby's clothes on
are allegedly true.
They have to be true. They have to be true because they got that off of evidence, pictures that they took.
I don't say anything is unless I've seen it myself. I'm not believing anything. I'm sorry. This case just is too mixed up to.
I know that, Franky, but like they would be. You remember back like when this first came out, you asked me like, would they be in trouble for stuff like this? They have their own theory, but the details that they are sharing, it's something that they're seeing from crime scene evidence photos. They can't lie about that. Like, they're not lying about that because you could easily prove that they're lying. It's all in the evidence.
The only thing I know that's being questioned is them being found in water. Other than that, people aren't talking much. Yeah, that's because they were saying, like at the very beginning, they were saying that they were found in the river. So I don't know where this all came from, but it was coming out at the very, very beginning. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that's very possible, Aries. Absolutely. I think he would be as agile enough on that bridge. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with too many crooked everything to believe that just because it's supposed to be some way that that's actually the way it is. I've seen too many crooked lawyers, too many crooked judges, and I'm not exaggerating or blowing that out of proportion. I've seen it with my own eyes. So will they? They absolutely will. So I do have to throw allegedly in there, and then we can all have our own belief system from that. You know, it's not about talking other people in. It's just kind of like
it's interesting.
Think tanking.
That's another interview that's in that timeline is with Robert Ives.
Yep.
That we would need to look at too. Because he's the one that describes there being the crime scene being weird. Just for a lack of better words. Let's just say weird. Like he was like, it was weird. It was strange. Like there's signatures. I think he specifically said signatures in that interview.
What are you taking, Lizzie?
So all these things that we're hearing now were actually talked about in the beginning.
A lot of it, yeah, absolutely. And then I don't know, they've either didn't like the way this was going, so they had to come up with something else. So what they've changed and what they haven't is kind of why we're going through all of this. I mean, we're not having problems thinking this person's accurate and that person's accurate, and because this has been a straight up case. It has been messed with from the very, very beginning. And it's more and more starting to look like a crooked system than anything else.
I'm more looking to similarities of what people are saying. They might not be saying exactly the same thing, but they're saying something in the lines of similar, right? So that's what I'm looking for, just to see how all of those things kind of line up, who said them, where they come from. There's a lot of names that I've never heard of. That are popping up.
I don't think you're crazy at all. I don't. I think something is really, really off with this
We've
case.
had that theory, bro. Like, it's
something is really off with this case.
It just doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Well, it's been that way right from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, right from the very beginning, it's like, okay, we'll just start with the basics. Why the two different sketches? Why did we even get to that? You know?
And why was the one that was released later done first and never released? And that goes back to, I think, what Aries was saying, that at some point they were like, okay, we need to just like probably do the same thing we're doing now, start from the beginning and reinvestigate. They started over. And then released that one just because like we've had it. But that still doesn't make sense. Like, if you had it then, why don't you just release that? Like, we want to talk to this person because you want to talk to everybody.
Yeah. Well, the only reason that I can make any sense out of why they wouldn't is because of the kind of backlash maybe that person would get. Like, if you're literally hiding the fact that some high-level people are involved in something sick and twisted, You're not going to want to put everything out. You
Why
don't want to
would
be that person.
why wouldn't they release both of those sketches at the same time? Because you know that the sketch that they first released came from a witness report. She saw him on the bridge. The woman that's on the probable cause said she saw this man on the bridge. She described someone.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's the first sketch, the younger sketch.
Younger sketch was the guy on the bridge, and he got shown second. The guy on the highway was the grubby looking guy, and he was shown first.
So, but I've heard
none of it makes sense.
That the older sketch, I always thought that it came from the bridge guy video because they released that first, like the still image of the bridge guy. Yes. They released that first, and I thought that sketch. I used to think that sketch came from that particular video.
Right. Well, that's what would make sense because it's fairly close, right?
I've read somewhere, and I think I showed it to you yesterday, that it actually came from one of the couples. The couple saw him. A couple saw him, and that's the sketch they gave.
I think you're right again, Aries. From what I see, they've purposely created confusion. There's been over 70,000 tips.
Yeah.
WTF did they do with them? You see, like, yeah, you're thinking very, very similar to the way we're thinking right now. It's just there's something wrong with this case. And right from the beginning, there is no way. Let's go back. Okay, we're looking at, I wanted to talk about Ron Logan a little bit because we're going to have to.
Yeah, we talk about Ron Logan.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back there. And I mean, somebody who's going to look really, really crooked and off right now, it's Ron Logan. So if you want to look at Ron Logan and Kegan Kline right now, right?
And his father, who Kegan Kline places.
Oh, yes, he does.
There. So
that is right, Shauna. He talks in riddles and it doesn't get you anywhere, and you look at the Flora girls, I should say. He does the same damn thing, and it's irritating AF. Like, it's like,
oh my God, now that you mentioned Flora, because I know I said this yesterday.
It's another one that has to be jumped down.
And it's one that you almost, I know people are like, oh, there's no connection between Flora and Delphi. You don't see a connection? I know what the connection is.
Yes, exactly.
The freaking investigators.
That's right. The uppers.
They're all the same.
Yeah. As Candace Wells would say, the uppers. John Weaver. Have you heard of that name?
No. Should I write it down?
I am.
You know how many... Aries, stop. You know how many things I have written down right now? I'm running out of sticky notes.
Are you using sticky notes? Oh, my word.
You like...
I've got my notepad. Well, all of my cases have got their own little notepads shoved in their files. Yes, I use files. I'm old. So yeah, I've got like the probable cause sitting in front of me. I've got I got 3 things going on this at one time. It's like, are you kidding me? All these new names. You're from that area, are you, Aries? Write down everything. Oh, I bet you do. more than a dozen notebooks and 2 old phones full of Delphi. Oh, you're from Michigan. Okay. Well, you're on it, friend. You're on it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mexie's in that Michigan area.
I'm in the Midwest. That's what you
In the
want.
Midwest.
But Michigan, I'm not even sure Michigan considers themselves as Midwest, though.
Okay. So, yeah, Carter's got to be. I mean, there's so many that have to be looked at. I wanted to get into Kegan Kline a little bit further tonight, but I don't think we're going to be able to because we'll be on a 14-hour live again.
Well, I mean, Kegan Kline is, we already know what Kegan Kline is. We all know it. It's out there, right?
Well, except a person wants to go, I want to go through this probable cause and check out everything I'm learning, which what I'm finding is sending me down other rabbit holes.
Yep.
So I want to explore those. I want to explore those different things. But as well, I mean, I want Tony looked at. I want to look at Tony more because what?
Here's the thing that gets me.
And Ron Logan. Like
if Kegan was constantly pointing at his dad, why haven't we heard of his dad being actually looked at? Like, they haven't released any information about them. They're like, hey, yeah, we actually talked to him.
Yeah.
We cleared him, whatever. Like, because Keegan's saying these things out loud. He's been saying, look at my dad. My dad was there. He's acting weird. Like, he says these things. And
I found it really, really interesting that Tony's name is attached to all of those phones. All his email addresses are on with those profiles, those sick profiles. He's right in there.
Yeah.
I bet you haven't, Aries. Yeah. So you're gaining clarity fast. So who do you think needs to be scouted out some more? I'd be curious. Exactly. That's the way I work. I love notes. So does my memory. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I've been chasing after this case since it started, but I tell you what, the names keep on coming. And I'm not familiar with some of these, and it's like, where the hell is all of this fitting in now, or does it? Gangs that go all the way up. Yes. So are you talking like the ones that like kids? Because that's where I'm looking. Know anything about friend Tony went to visit the day of the crime? No. Mexie?
Well, I do wonder if that's the same person that blog was talking about from July.
That could have been, yeah.
They have a whole suspect profile of this person. I'm not going to talk about that because I have no idea who it is that they're talking about.
Yeah, not yet. So. But, a little bit of digging still, because we started to come upon stuff towards the end of the day. And it was like, oh, my word. Yeah, she's found the right people, eh, Shauna? It should just be called, instead of the think tank, the deep dive. There's not a case out there that... Gotcha. All sworn to secrecy now. It makes sense to me. Like, there's just something going deep. There's something going a lot deeper. And the names that are coming up, like I said, we've got to do a little bit more research on them. But I have a feeling I'm going to look at a couple, like I want to look at some of those things you just mentioned down there. I can't put it up, but I am going to look for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, every little crevice from the very beginning needs to go up. I mean, even looking to see what the powers that be were doing at that time. You know what I mean? Like, because somebody was doing something wrong, in my personal opinion. There's somebody doing some nasty, nasty stuff.
I don't want to throw out accusations. I just want to say, like, it just doesn't feel right. Something's not right.
Yep. Nope.
It feels off. I don't know.
Crime scene seems very unorganized to me. He left vital evidence there. It was there so much time it would have gathered it. If there was so much time, he would have gathered all. Yeah, I don't see a bunch of people like lighting torches and dancing in the woods. It's not where my head's going. That was just something to throw a glitch into the case, which ultimately ended up just making him look worse because this other stuff has come out now. So it's not like people are even going to take that Odinist stuff serious right now. Oh, is that what it was? Oh, yeah, exactly. Me too, friend. Judge Foots resigned for soliciting. Yeah. So why did he say, in your mind, why do you think he was afraid? Or is he just didn't want this coming out?
Are you asking me? Or
oh, I'm writing it out. No, I was writing it out.
Ron Logan.
Yeah.
And
you
so
see
is
Ron
Tony,
Logan.
So is Kegan. So is...
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What are the odds? Found
You
on
see?
a pervy person's property tied to a catfishing, either Kegan or his dad, because he also says that his dad had access to the Anthony Schatz account. And if his name's Tony Anthony Schatz, I don't know.
Well, I just
what are the odds that none of them are connected and these girls just so happened to be there on that day and they met some random lunatic who just took them down?
I've got pretty much everybody printed off, I do believe, but I'm going to give it all another look. I'm going to give it another look. A lot of times when you run like record checks on these guys, it shows you all these sickos that are in that direct area. All these names with no SABS. Yeah. Within a good radius. So the thing is if this is happening, then does this mean, like, if this is the angle a person's going to go down, and it's pretty much where I think we were looking as well. Yes, Logan was very mean.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
And that's all said in his probable cause, which we have.
Mm-hmm.
And we still need to go through. That's one of the projects. That's
well, the thing is I mean, it's so much is going on right now with all of these different cases that it's like, okay,
we have to go back and look at them. We've looked at the Ron Logan warrant, but now we just want to go look at it again.
Yep. Just like the one for Kegan Kline. It's all that stuff got to be gone through. And I don't know all these names with no SA. You see, Ron Logan, especially Mexi, it's driven her nuts as far as he goes for a long time. And
I just don't understand it. Like for me, I go for what makes sense. Like the most probable thing. Proximity, opportunity. Like he's freaking right there. He's right there.
Yeah.
It would make sense that the girls weren't seen because he took them back to wherever. Like that's just my theory. I know he's gone now and people get upset. I'm like, don't give them. But we still need to look at him. Just because
he's got to be looked at right now. I mean, they've put us right back to square one. That's what they did. You know, they put us right back to square one. And it might actually end up backfiring because now what people are doing is they're really looking at stuff. Not that they weren't before, but names that have never come out this much, they're starting to come out. So I'm pretty sure that's the exact opposite of what they're
what they wanted.
Yeah. So I have not heard of Palladino, Garth, and C. Mathis. Square one is where the answers are. 1000%, friend. Yeah, 1000%. And you know, the prosecution has made us do this. This is what they have made us do. And I do think it'll blow up in their faces. Or defense, I should say. I'm sorry.
But you know, we've heard some things about the prosecution. I don't know how true they are.
Yeah.
That also needs to be looked at.
Oh, I think there's absolutely more involved. I don't know what each person did, but you know what? Going back and looking this stuff over again is opening up all different scenarios. Pretty much surprised because when I started the channel and started doing stuff on this, and these names were not out there, not like this. So now it's going to be a matter of searching everybody down and seeing what we can find. You know, what about these Flora girls? What about those other girls that had been found?
What about everything else that happened there that hasn't been solved? Yes, everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, like
failed the
nobody's yeah. It's like, yeah, KK, his dad, Logan, Alan, and a whole bunch of other names that we came across. You know, and yeah, we're just going to have to start running record checks, see who's about.
You know, when it comes to crimes like this that are so absolutely random, well, because this is random. This is random, right? Let's pretend
it's random.
Humor me for a second, okay? I was curious. Just humor me for 1 second.
I'm here.
Sure
I'm
other
doing it.
people I've heard about this. The only way that the whole catfishing thing can be a coincidence is if there was something else happening on the inside. And when I mean inside, I mean someone close. And that's usually where people meet their demise, is from someone who's close. Whether that's in your immediate circle, being immediate family, friends, acquaintances that you might think are somewhat your friends. Let's pretend that this was actually all the, like, the way the defense describes the crime scene, and they're describing it off of crime scene photos. Twigs, trees, whatever, being just placed in a weird way. What if it was just like amateurs, kids, teenagers? more of a hateful thing done to some like your fellow classmate.
I think you're right with that too. That catfishing and those what are they called? Lock boxes. Evansdale. Thank you. Yes. Evansdale. Grinding, grinding, grinding. Doobie. Yeah. It's drop boxes.
Unicorn.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm laughing because Perry for the bridge video though, and then Ari said drop boxes, and I'm like, are we just naming things? Unicorns. But yes, I like Kegan Kline had drop boxes, which if you have access to them are supposed to be untraceable. Allegedly.
But yeah.
I don't know.
And it sounds like sounds like there's lots of people that had access to that. Just keeps me coming back to that footage and that audio. Yep.
I know I said this like way back in the day when me and you first like hooked up and became like BFFs.
When we hooked up, how did I sleep through that?
Well, you know what I mean. Like we got it together.
I'm joking.
Stop spilling secrets, okay? But I said there's this guy that created some sort of Dropbox, and it's not called Dropbox. I sent a video out. I shared it on. He's called something.com. And he was like on house arrest forever. And he got federally prosecuted because people were sharing really bad things. You know, extorting, sharing like personal,
really bad stuff.
It is like bad, illegal things in his Dropbox, and he got prosecuted for it because he created it. But the whole entire thing is anonymous. They couldn't track down the people that actually shared it with each other.
Just the creator?
But they prosecuted him for creating it. So he was under a house arrest forever. He's the Call of Duty winner, by the way, guys. If something.com, look him up. It's on YouTube.
That's a video game, right? Or a computer game? Or
Call of Duty. It's a video game. You can play it on the computer as well. Yeah. He's a champion of it. Like, and he's also a billionaire who created.
Okay. Did he, Aries? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that very interesting?
It has to be related. Why wouldn't it be related? Aries, I'm going to ask you this question. I've been asking everybody. If you live in America, there was something that happened a couple of years ago where all these states that were bordering each other all of a sudden had huge amounts of kitty weirdos arrested. There was a huge freaking sting that happened, and in a whole bunch of different states that were attached to each other. Like, I live in Missouri, I'll admit that. So like Missouri, the state bordering me, Illinois, so on and so forth beyond. Don't even ask me. I'm not good with geography, but they all had arrests for some sort of child pictures or whatever.
Is that right?
And I'm not saying it's related. I just find it kind of curious that it all happened around the same time. When Kline was arrested, and then all of these stings started happening.
Isn't that curious? It is. It is. It's absolutely curious because once this connection catches hold, once somebody figures out exactly how these puzzle pieces fit, I think it's going to go like a grass fire. I honestly do. I think we're going to find out a big mess of people are involved in something very, very wrong. You know, whether they're exactly the people that did this or maybe something got carried away out there. I don't know. But if this doesn't go deep and dark into the system somehow with everything that seems to be being hidden, I'll be surprised.
I just don't understand how something that it was 5 years before they ever even made an arrest on this particular case.
Yes.
How are all these things already known? And I'm not saying that they were being like, okay, for example, I came across something that said that there was like a letter F that was either carved or burnt onto one of the girls. Right.
Ah, that was something that was being said, right?
Way at the start in like July of 2017.
Yeah.
We know we think we know that's not true.
Right.
But we do know that there was an F in the crime scene. Can we say that even? Can we say
no? Not to me.
No. Okay, so possibly.
Yeah, I don't have an F there yet.
So just for the simple fact that we're hearing it now again is weird to me. It's curious. Like, I'm like, it was back then, now we're hearing it again. Is it a coincidence? Is it? And if it is true, or if those things happen to coincide with each other, all I can think is it's LE, it's law enforcement. That's
where it starts to go, doesn't it? That's where a person's starting to look anyways. And I'm sure we're not the only ones. You know, it's just not looking good on them. Yeah.
No, all guys, this is the think tank. This is all alleged. These are just all thoughts. We're thinking out loud, and I'm just wondering. But that's where where I'm leading. It's like, who else would have that info other than law enforcement?
Well, and the control to manipulate things is what I'm starting to wonder about. How can all of this stuff kind of go sideways like it is on something that should be fairly straightforward?
Yeah.
Like it should be. I mean, there's cases sadly like this every single day in the US. And how did this one get so convoluted? It shouldn't have. They found them the following day. They have video of this man and they have his voice. And within 24 hours, they had those girls. So they're going to have a very, very good idea how things happened, what was in the scene. So how did we get where we are like 7 years later? And they're right back to where they were. Like we're right back to the scratching board again.
That's another thing I think I brought that question up. I was like, how, if this was a local, you have this picture of this guy, it's being circulated everywhere. It's a town of 3,000 people. 3,000 people. I know that seems like a lot, and like I probably wouldn't know all of them, but you're telling me nobody saw that? Nobody saw that sketch and thought, "Hey, that looks like so and so." Like,
yeah, it could be an outsider. We don't know, but it's going sideways. You know, I am starting to get worried about the case as a whole. You know, where are they going to go as of October 31st when they're back in court again? Let's hope we get some sort of answers. Let's hope that he's got a new attorney. I'm sure he will. And, you know, being that most stuff has been gathered, hopefully it won't take that long. It does sound like the previous lawyers are able to kind of get these guys settled in, which I find a little different, but that sounds like what they're going to do. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. Let's see here. Well, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but look at the FLDS community right under people's noses, taking children. Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, of course.
They missed 2 huge clues early on by not investigating RA from day one. Yep. And taking God knows how long to identify Anthony Shots catfishing. You're right, Perry. You're absolutely right, friend. Yep. I think we're going to see some changes. But Mexi, we're on 2.5 hours. And you're back to work in the morning. And I have to dig into some of these names we've been given.
Yeah, you're good. I'm trying to make sure my roommate makes good choices right now, so you're fine.
He's not making good choices.
He's not making good choices.
Help, roomie. Help, roomie. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to hit that thumb as you're on your way out. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks a lot, Mexi, for helping me out again.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. You know I'm always going to look into this stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. I'll meet you over there.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm going to do too. So, yeah, on that note, guys, thanks again for being here with us. And I'll, if you're up to it, I'll definitely be back at it tomorrow. So I'll see you guys at that one. And Mexi, I'll see you in a
Bye,
bit.
y'all. I hope you enjoy your Monday. I never do, but I hope you all do.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.